there, fellow comic readers, and especially manga readers, because today it's about manga. Like I've been saying, I'm trying to read more manga and get more educated on it, and be able to give you better advice on that, or opinion, better saying. Advice seems too paternalist. So what we've got here is Golden Kamui, a very popular series. This is Volume 1, and I've read it, and so I'm going to talk a little bit about it and what I thought of it. So, this is about Sugimoto, who is nicknamed the Immortal Sugimoto, because he's been into the war and he was never killed. He was shot and sticked with knives and what the hell, but he always escaped death. So he's got that name. We don't actually know if he's really immortal in some kind of way, or he was just lucky. So we're presented to that past briefly while he was at the war, but then the scene comes to the present time, and we see Sugimoto desperate for money, and is trying to how do you call it, extract gold from a place where there used to be a lot of gold. There was a gold rush to this place, but now all he gets is dirt and sand, so he's getting kind of frustrated. And by the lake or stream, or what you want to call it, it's more of a stream. If it was a lake, yeah, it wouldn't make sense. There's an older guy who is quite drunk, and it's just having a chat with Sugimoto, but at a certain time he starts telling a tale. We want to hear a weird tale, and he starts talking about the time when you could get rocks of gold from this place, and how a group got to manage to stash a big pile of gold, only then to be killed by one sole man that killed all of them and hid the gold. But soon after that he was caught by the police, so he never got time to tell anyone where the gold was or whatever. So he couldn't write a letter from prison telling where the gold was to place it in a more secure place. So the thing he came up with was the guys that were sharing his cell. Well, he tattooed them, and their collective bodies would form a map, an encoded map of the location of the gold. So word spread, and even the police got to know about that rumor, and so they wanted to have a go, and so they transported those prisoners, but those prisoners ended up killing their guards and fleeing. So Sugimoto hears this story. He just thinks that this guy is a drunk, but then after waking of a bad nightmare, he just finds himself gun pointed by the drunk man, and he just says, "I said too much. Now that I'm sober, I realize that I told you too much." And that's when Sugimoto understands that the story is true. And so he hits the guy, he takes the gun out, and etc. The guy runs away. He pursues him because is afraid that if he goes to sleep, this guy will come back and finish him off. And he just finds him buried in a ton of snow, and he just says, "What the hell has happened here?" And the guy's entrails are all taken off. It's very weird. but there are large bear footprints, so mystery solved. He was partially eaten by a brown bear. And as he's handling the body, he understands that he was one of the prisoners from the story. He had a strange tattoo covering all his body. It goes around all the torso, and that's how we get his first confirmation that the story is true. And that's what will make Sugimoto adventure, or I wanted to use another word, but well, it will be his campaign, let's say. So he rapidly meets a girl who saves him from the bear, and they end up being companions. But what really matters here is that she has some knowledge that allows him to put some pieces together and find out where the other prisoners might be. He finds out a location where they're probably hiding out, and so off he goes and try and find the other guys. And amidst that, there's adventures, action. There's another bear that is way more frightening than the female bear was just protecting her cub. Then they will find other people that are looking for the prisoners also, because this story is not just for Sugimoto's ears. Other people got word of it. So you'll follow him in his adventures. He captures another guy with a map. He has to skin the first one to get the pelt, like if he was extracting the pelts from an animal. So it's kind of gruesome, but that's how it is. So that's what you can expect from this book. So it's action paced. There's always this, at least at the end of volume 1, you still don't know if he's really immortal or not, or just lucky. You'll know in the next volumes. I'm guessing it's just lucky, but maybe he has some hidden power. So yeah, that's it. I really enjoyed the book in such a way that I would easily pick volume 2 and continue reading if I hadn't even more interesting reads to do. But it seems like a solid manga story with none of those silly faces, and it's very grounded, right? The story is of course fiction, but it's serious, and it's got clever things like using snare traps to catch their enemies, making booby traps for them. So it's very grounded. It's not aimed for teens or anything like that. You won't see those funny faces with their teeth popping out in their eyes. It's not that kind of manga. So it's the kind of manga I like, as I don't really like those traits of manga for a younger audience. So yeah, it's a recommendation. Not the biggest recommendation for manga. We've read better things like 20th Century Boys or Monster by the great master Uruzawa. Those are big recommendations, but still this series is very promising. So yeah, that's all I wanted to tell you and show you. You got to see a little bit of the artwork, which is very good, I think. Yeah, so if you like the video, please hit the like. If you've been following us, consider subscribing the channel. We put out content very regularly. You can also find us on Facebook, on Instagram, But of course, here in YouTube is where you'll get the more juicy stuff, the leaf-throughs and the reviews. So, until our next video, pay us a visit at Deviant.fun.biz, where you can buy this and many other books, and order a lot more than that, even out of prints. We can get out of prints and rarities. Got some contacts, we can help you. So until then, stay safe, stay well, be happy, and have excellent reads, and try some manga. You won't regret it. There's very good manga out there. It's not by chance that it's surpassing the sales for traditional comics, which are facing lots of difficulties. Not a golden age for American traditional comics, at least for the big two. So until then, bye bye, see you soon. Deviant Fun out in 3, 2, 1, bye bye.